The Ring, the American remake of the original Japanese film Ring, which I have reviewed. If you guys didn't see, I did review the original Japanese film in preparation for the new Rings film coming out in October. I'm excited to talk about these movies. I decided to skip Ring 2. I think that film is okay at best. It failed to present a compelling reason to be a movie beyond the fact that the first one was so successful. I decided to skip that movie as well as all the pointless Sadako spin-offs that have happened. So now let's talk about the original The Ring remake that came out in America in 2002. I saw this movie in theaters when I was 14 years old, and it absolutely scared the shit out of me. It really did at the time. I hadn't seen the original Japanese movie, and so all of this was very new and very fresh to me. And sitting in that theater, I felt cold. I felt unsettled. It absolutely creeped into my skin, and it affected me very deeply. As a 14-year-old, I was seeing the Ring face that people have. I was seeing that face in windows. Every time I opened my closet, every time I opened my locker at school, I saw that damn face. This movie, yeah, it got to me. It's safe to say. It follows a very similar structure as the Japanese film. If you haven't seen that film, if you didn't see my review, this movie is about a cursed videotape. If you watch this tape, you receive a phone call and a voice tells you you have 7 days to live. And our main character, played by Naomi Watts, is a reporter who's trying to figure out the mystery of this tape and learn about how she can hopefully survive along with her ex-husband and son. As I said, it follows a very similar structure to the Japanese film. Certain scares are done in the same way. The famous, "I saw her face." A lot of those sequences are handled similarly in this film, but this one was directed by Gore Verbinski, and I think he did a very good job at crafting a beautifully shot film that was very well edited and, similar to the Japanese film, had a quiet, unsettling sense of tragedy. This entire film is permeated with sadness. There isn't a moment in this film or the original that felt as if it was happy. There are very few moments where characters sit back and go, "Oh, it's a nice day outside." No, even the cinematography, it's always very murky. There's an emphasis on bluish green colors that are reflected very much so in the cursed video, which I think is one of the things that is an improvement over the Japanese film. The cursed video here, I find far more frightening. Even though the first one was very creepy, I do find that to be one of the elements in this film that they improved upon. This is one of the better remakes out there. Something else I feel they improved on in this movie was the protagonist. In this movie, her name is Rachael. I think that she's a more well-rounded character. I feel like she's more of a person. In the original film, she was kind of the audience character. We went on this journey with her. Her husband was really the one who figured out most of everything except for the big reveal at the end, and his character explained so much to her through exposition scenes. In this film, the lead character played by Naomi Watts, I find much better, and I think she did a really great job in this movie. That's definitely for me one of the pluses of this remake. At the same time though, by boosting the character of Rachael, the husband character takes a dip. In the original film, he was a clairvoyant. He could touch objects and get visions. He was a really compelling character, and I love the actor who portrayed him. I've always loved him from Last Samurai, The Wolverine. I think he's a fantastic actor, and I'm not going to try to butcher his name, but I love that actor. In this film, the ex-husband character was far more conventional. He's your typical, very cynical character who doesn't believe in anything supernatural, and it takes forever for him to take his ex-wife seriously. A lot less compelling than the original, but the son in this film was definitely given more to do than Yoichi was in the original. That character was basically just like, "Hey, can you go away? Because we need to have a movie and you're a little kid, so can you just go away?" In this film, the son character was given a lot more to do. It's also a higher budget, and so things are going to look better and sound better. Hans Zimmer's score is really great. The majority of the most frightening and memorable parts of this remake are paying homage to the original, so you kind of have to look at that original and give it major props for that. But the things they did differently surprisingly actually really work. A lot of times when you change things too much in remakes or when you're adapting source material, it doesn't always work. The backstory they gave to the character of Samara in this film was also very different, and it was a little bit less Eastern and definitely more of a Western mentality story, and it worked for this film, and it also gave it another layer of tragedy. There are more supernatural things going on in this movie though that the original had. Even though we had psychic characters in that film and a cursed videotape, it was a little bit more grounded and it felt a little bit more realistic. In this film, there are a few more supernatural elements that aren't fully explained, that you don't fully understand, but it's nowhere near as bad as The Ring 2, which I'm going to talk about next. This film was unsettling. It was very creepy. Certain characters were given a boost that weren't as compelling in the original, but certain characters also took a dip. Overall, this is one of the better remakes. Gore Verbinski did a very good job directing this movie. It looks great. It sounds great. Naomi Watts was excellent in this movie, and I think it actually was the first time that I had ever seen her in a movie, so that's really cool. I'm going to give The Ring a B+. So guys, stay tuned because very soon I'm going to be reviewing The Ring 2. That's going to be fun. Also, I thought it'd be kind of cool to share with you guys something from back in the day. If you never watched our scary movie special we did a few years ago, I actually had you guys submit creepy footage that we could use to make our own cursed videotape in tribute to The Ring, because every year my wife and I do a scary Halloween special around October, and we're going to do it again this year. I'm excited for that. But a couple years ago we did this video and you guys submitted some really creepy ass footage, and I thought it'd be fun, just since I'm talking about The Ring again, to share that footage with you guys again for any of my newer subscribers who never saw that video back in the day. So here's that video from a couple years back. As always, thank you so much for watching, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized. Who is it?